have positions earning fees right now while I sleep, while I work, and while I do absolutely nothing, just by providing liquidity on Uniswap V3. But here's the thing that nobody tells you when you get started. Most liquidity providers are actually losing money. Not because the strategy is bad, but because they don't understand the mechanics. They set the wrong price range, they pick the wrong fee tier, and they have no idea what impermanent loss is doing to their portfolio. I made those same mistakes when I started, and today I'm going to make sure you don't. Welcome, I am Chief Davis. I'm the founder behind DeFi Orbit, a professional multi-chain portfolio manager built specifically for liquidity providers. And in this crash course, I'm going to show you exactly how Uniswap V3 works, how to open your first LP position the right way, and how I track everything in real time. Let's get into it. So what exactly is Uniswap V3? To answer that properly, we need to start at the beginning because context matters here. Uniswap was created by Hated Items, a mechanical engineer who got laid off from Siemens in 2017. He had no background in finance or software, taught himself Solidity, and built the protocol from scratch with just a $100,000 Ethereum Foundation grant. And on November 2nd, 2018, launched Uniswap V1 on the Ethereum mainnet with only $30,000 of initial liquidity across 3 token pairs. And that's it. That was the beginning of what will become the most important infrastructure in decentralized finance. Why was it such a big deal? Well, before Uniswap, if you wanted to trade tokens, you needed a centralized exchange with order books, middlemen, and custodians controlling your funds. Uniswap eliminated all of that. Instead of matching buyers and sellers, it uses an automated market maker, or AMM, where liquidity providers deposit assets into pools and traders swaps directly from those pools. Permissionless, non-custodial, open to anyone on earth with just a wallet. V2 launched in May 2020, added ERC20 to ERC20 direct pairs, and became foundational DeFi infrastructure. Then in May 2021, V3 dropped, and that's the version we're talking about today. V4 followed in January 2025 with additional customization features, but V3 remains the dominant version for liquidity providers and the one you'll be using day to day. Today, Uniswap is one of the largest and most trusted decentralized exchanges ever built, processing tens of billions in trading volume every month across Ethereum, Base, Arbitrum, Optimism, and more chains. Now, what makes V3 specifically different and why does it matter so much? The key innovation is what they call concentrated liquidity, and that is the whole game. In V2, your liquidity was spread across every possible price from 0 to infinity. Only a tiny fraction of it was ever active at any given moment. V3 lets you focus your liquidity into a specific price range where you actually expect trading to happen. That means that you can earn significantly more fees on less capital. According to the official V3 white paper, LPs can achieve up to 4,000x capital efficiency compared to V2, depending on how tight their range is. More earning power, but also more responsibility. That is the trade-off. And that is exactly what this video is going to unpack. 3 reasons to provide liquidity. Let me break down the 3 main reasons people use Uniswap V3. Because understanding your goal changes how you approach this. Use case number 1, passive fee income. If you hold 2 assets, say Ethereum and USDC, instead of just letting them sit in your wallet, you can put them to work. Every time someone trades that pair on Uniswap, you earn a percentage of that swap. The more volume the pool has, the more you earn. Some stablecoin pools run at 20 to 40% APR just from fees alone. Use case number 2, active range management. More sophisticated LPs treat this like a part-time job. They set tight prices ranges to maximize fee concentration, monitor their positions, and rebalance when price moves out of range. This takes more attention but can generate significantly higher returns. Think of it like running a market-making operation, but in DeFi. Use case number 3, portfolio yield on existing holdings. Maybe you're already long on Ethereum long term, and you're already holding USDC on the side. Instead of those assets you sit in there, you pair them in an Uniswap V3 pool and put them to work. That way you can maintain your crypto exposure while earning real yield on top of it. These are the 3 core reasons. Your preference will determine how you set up your positions. Now, let's get into the mechanics. One of the first decisions you make when providing liquidity is choosing your fee tier. Uniswap V3 launched with 3 fee tiers: 0.05%, 0.3%, and 1%. A fourth tier, 0.01%, was later added in December 2021 via Uni governance vote. So today there are 4 options, and here's how to think about each one of them. 0.01%, the tightest fee added specifically for near identical stable pairs like USDC and USDT, where traders expect essentially no price difference. The volume can be enormous, but the fee per swap is razor thin. Then we have 0.05%, which is for correlated pairs like Ethereum and Stake Ethereum, or high volume stable pairs. It's still a tight spread with slightly more room for price movement. And then we have 0.30%, which is the original tier and still the most commonly used for major volatile pairs like Ethereum and USDC, or wrap Bitcoin and Ethereum. The sweet spot for most LPs is starting out. If you're not sure which fee to use for a pair, start by checking which one has the most existing liquidity and volume. That's usually the canonical market. Now, 1%, which is the new one. This one is for exotic, low liquidity, or high volatility pairs. The higher fee compensates LPs for the elevated risk of holding these assets. Newer tokens or niche pairs typically end up here. A practical tip: when you go to open a position on Uniswap, the interface shows you the TVL and the volume for each available fee tier of your chosen pair. Always check this before committing, because the most active pool is where trades are actually being routed and where you're gonna end up earning the most amount of fees. If you don't know how to do this, do not worry, because we're gonna be showing you how to do it in a few seconds. Okay, this is the most important concept in this entire video. So if you get this wrong, you earn nothing. So please pay attention. When you provide liquidity in Uniswap V3, you set up a price range, a lower bound and an upper bound. Your liquidity only earns fees when the current market price is inside that range. The moment that the price goes outside of your range, you stop earning. So your position is considered out of range. Now, here's the trade-off that makes this powerful and risky. Tighter range is equal to higher capital efficiency, which means more fees when in range. If Ethereum is at $3,000 and you set up your range from 2,800 to 3,200, your liquidity is very concentrated. You're putting all of your firepower right where the action is. You'll earn a much larger share of fees compared to someone with a wide range, as long as the price stays in your range. Wider range is equal to lower capital efficiency, which means fewer fees but more uptime. If you set up your range from 1,500 to 5,000, price is almost always going to be in range. You're gonna earn less per dollar of liquidity, but your position will stay active much longer without needing adjustments. One more thing worth knowing: in Uniswap V3, every LP position is minted as an NFT, specifically an ERC-721 token. That means that your position is a unique and transferable asset. You can sell it, move it, or use it in other DeFi protocols. This is different from V2, where LP positions were fungible tokens. It is a small detail, but it has implications for composability down the road. There is also one more thing that you need to understand here, and it connects directly to risk. When you set up a range, you're also defining what happens at the edges. If the price moves below your lower bound, your position converts entirely into the base token, say Ethereum. If price moves above your upper bound, your position converts entirely into the quote token, say USDC. This is relevant for understanding impermanent loss, which is what we're about to cover next. Hold up. Before I keep going into impermanent losses and I finally show you a live demo on how to implement everything from A to Z, I wanted to ask you for a favor. If you are enjoying this video, please do not forget to hit subscribe and like it so we can reach more liquidity providers. And by doing so, you're also supporting the channel so we can continue to create more high quality content for you. Thank you for the support. This is the risk that most new LPs either don't know about or underestimate. And it is the reason I said earlier that most LPs are losing money without realizing it. Impermanent loss, or IL, is the difference between what your assets will be worth if you had just held them versus what they're actually worth inside the pool. Here is a simple example. Let's say that you deposit Ethereum and USDC into a pool when Ethereum is at $3,000. A month later, Ethereum is at $4,500. If you had just held your Ethereum, you have benefited from the full price increase. But inside the pool, the AMM has been automatically selling some of your Ethereum as the price rose, buying more USDC to maintain balance. You end up with less Ethereum and more USDC than you started with. It is the difference between what you would have had by just holding versus what you actually have in the pool, and that is your impermanent loss. Now, here's the key. Impermanent loss is only impermanent if price returns to where it was when you deposited. In practice, it often doesn't, and in Uniswap V3, because your liquidity is concentrated, IL can be significantly amplified compared to V2. So does that mean that you shouldn't LP? Not at all. It means that you need to make sure that the fees you're earning are higher so you can offset the impermanent loss. High volume pairs in tight ranges can absolutely generate enough fees to come out ahead, but you have to track it, which is exactly where most LPs fail. If you're just looking at your fee income and not accounting for impermanent loss, then you're seeing an incomplete picture, and that is not tracking, that is guessing. Alright guys, it is now showtime. So in the next few minutes, I'm going to walk you really briefly on how you can open your first liquidity pool on Uniswap and everything that you need to know to get started. For this video, we're gonna go a little bit more high level, but I'm gonna be creating more content later on going deeper. So if you have any questions, just please drop them. That being said, let's get it started. First thing first, go to uniswap.org. Once you're there, you're gonna find this little box in here. This is our money maker, because every time someone makes a swap between, let's say, Ethereum and USDC, you're gonna get paid because Uniswap is going to collect a fee and distribute that fee towards the liquidity providers. So once you're here, go into connect, select your wallet of preference. For me, it's gonna be Ravi. I'm gonna click connect, and here we go. Now we're in. So next thing we're gonna do is gonna be click explore, and then you're gonna click pools. Now in here we can see like the most popular pools right now. You can filter by chain, but in here really briefly we can see that we have Wise and Ethereum with $136 million in TVL. TVL means total value locked, which means how much money is in the pool from liquidity providers. As you guys can see, this is B2, so we're not looking into B2, we're looking into B3. We have B2, B3, B4. So let's look into B3. Next thing we have in here is the pool APR. This is more or less how much the pool is paying out to investors. But one thing that I want you to keep in mind is that as the volume changes, so does the APR. Let's say that tomorrow a new bull run begins and there's a lot of transactions happening, then the APR is going to increase dramatically to maybe 30-40% if it's on 22. And if there is barely any transaction, then it can go down from 22 to 18, 15. But at the end of the day, you're going to be above 15, which is amazing. For this video, I'm going to keep it simple. We're going to pick a pool that is giving us at least 12%. Here we go. And the reason why I want to pick this pool is because it's on USDC and Ethereum. At the end of the day, people are always going to have to buy Ethereum for gas. So this is like a very safe bet. That's why it's a 0.05% on the fee tier. And that's why it's only paying about 12%. Although there has been about $68 million in volume using the past 24 hours. or $3.6 billion in the past month. So the reason why we're only getting 12% is because the fee tier is low. If you want something that is actually paying a little bit more, we can see that for the exact same pair on Arbitrum, we can get 29% right now. That's probably due to all the traffic that is happening as of lately on Arbitrum with Ethereum. But for me, I'm gonna keep it simple. I'm gonna go with mainnet, and then I'm gonna record another video on how you can find the best positions. So in here, we're gonna click USDC and Ethereum, and now we can see that in the past day, there has been about $69 million in transactions. There is about 12% APR being paid right now, and there has been about $34,000 in fees because the fee tier is, actually low. But to keep it simple, let's say that we wanna start with this pool. So the first thing that we're gonna do is gonna be click at liquidity. In here, we're gonna select our pair, which is gonna be USDC and Ethereum. If you want to see all of the tiers, you can click in here and see them all. But as you guys can see, the 0.05% is the one that has the biggest volume. So let's go with that one. Next thing we're gonna do is click continue. Now you have a few options. You can go full range, the same way that you'll do in V2, but your liquidity is not gonna be used as much. It's not gonna be as effective as if you were to do it in a custom range. Custom range is what I've been telling you about. You come in here, you set up a range, lower and upper, and then from there, as long as you stay within range, you're gonna be doing good. So in here, I'm gonna go, I already went on CoinMarketCap. I saw that Ethereum has been hanging today around $2,300. For this specific step, I highly recommend you to do your own technical analysis. If you don't know how to do that, do not worry. You can either get signals from other people, or you can follow our YouTube video, which I'm gonna put in the description, where you can learn how to create your own AI technical analysis bot through ChatGPT or your preferred AI tool. So it can help you pick the best ranges for you. For this example, I'm gonna keep it a little bit tight, and I'm going to go with, let me see, I wrote it down in here, $2,000 and $2,600. So my lower is gonna be 2,000, and then my upper is gonna be 2,600. So I'm gonna click Ethereum in here, and I'm gonna say, hey, my range is gonna be $2,000, and my max is gonna be 2,600. So in this range, which is a little bit tight, I'm gonna show you how it's going to work. Right now, the price of Ethereum is at $2,300, right? So let's say that it's right in the middle. As I mentioned before, if the price moves up, you can face some impermanent losses, because if the price of Ethereum goes up to, let's say, $3,000, right? Now you're out of range. The moment it hits $2,600, that's it. All of your Ethereum is gonna get converted to USDC, so you're gonna be able to cash it out in USDC, but you're not gonna be making any money from Ethereum between $2,600 and $3,000. So for this reason, if you wanna be a little bit safer, look into the charts first, but you can go with something like $3,500, which we haven't seen all year, and that way you can have more peace of mind. It's still gonna pay you a nice APR. It's not gonna be 12%, but you're gonna have peace of mind. You're not gonna have to look into the range or do anything about it. It's just check it out from time to time, and that's it. But for me, I'm gonna go with $2,600. Now, if the opposite happens, let's say that Ethereum drops to $1,900 instead of $3,000, now you're gonna go out of range again, which means that you're not gonna be making any fees. But on the other side, now you're gonna be buying more Ethereum. So it's like dollar cost average, right? If it goes to the left, you're buying more Ethereum. If it goes to the right, you're selling all of your Ethereum. This is how the range works. So as long as you stay within this range for as long as you can, you're gonna be collecting fees every single day. It doesn't matter if it goes down, doesn't matter if it goes up, as long as you stay in range. And that should be your goal. How can you stay in range for as long as you can without being too greedy with the fees? So once you do that, you're gonna see deposit tokens, which is going to allow you to pick how much money you want to deposit. In this case, all I have is $20. The amount doesn't really matter. You're gonna get the exact same returns depending on your range. So I like to go with small amounts for demos, because at the end of the day, it's all about the education, not flexing on cash. So in here, I'm gonna say that I want to deposit $10. Once again, you can do as much money as you liked. So in here, we're gonna select $10, and now I can see that I'm going to need at least $5 worth of Ethereum. So I'm gonna copy that amount, right? I'm gonna open a new tab. I'll go on Uniswap, and actually, to make it even easier, I'll just come in here And now I'm gonna swap some of my gold. Here we go. For some Ethereum. Where's my Ethereum? Here, ETH. So now I'm gonna say, hey, I want to swap. Here's the amount. Let's go a little bit higher. $12. That's fine. So I'm gonna click get started, review, approve and swap. This is on mainnet, so it's gonna be a little bit slower. Here we go. I'm gonna click approve. And now I'm going to confirm the swap. It's also gonna be a little bit more expensive. So if you're gonna be doing anything on mainnet, my rule is to do at least $10,000. Right now, the gas fee is actually lower on mainnet, so it's not as drastic as it used to be. But if you're only gonna do like, let's say $5-10, maybe use Base or use Arbitrum or Optimism, whatever you want. Base is actually really good because it's gonna be way cheaper. Right now I spend about $1 on fees. On Base it would have been maybe 3 cents max, so it's a drastic difference. But to keep it simple, I'm just gonna keep doing this on mainnet. So now we're gonna go back into Uniswap, and in here I'm gonna go ahead and check out my range, which is $2,000 to $2,600, which is what I wanted to do. And then in here, all I'm gonna do is gonna be $10 for demo purposes. It's gonna show you how much Ethereum you're going to need for this transaction. So we're putting $15 in total. I'm gonna click review, create, and now all we have to do is approve. So I'm gonna come in here, approve this. There we go. And lastly, we're going to approve this. Here we go as well. And just like that, guys, congratulations. You now have your first official pool making you money on Uniswap. As fees start taking off in the next, I don't know, 5-10 minutes, you're gonna start seeing a few cents in here. And if we go back into DeFi Orbit now and we click refresh, check this out. We now have the position in here. It's going to be loading up. I'm gonna click DeFi dashboard. And here it is. Here is my pool. So now you can see that due to the fees, I'm a little bit low on P&L, but that's gonna be fine in the next few seconds. I can now see how much money I'm gonna be making daily, weekly, monthly, yearly. I can see my projected yield APR is about 16% based on how many fees I'm generating. It's already making me money. And if you click expand insights, you're gonna be able to see impermanent loss, value of held, total P&L, how much money you deposited, what's the projected APR, what is your range, and are you on range or not, the token prices, historical performance, deposit. You can see how much money you put in Ethereum and what was the price of Ethereum at the time of that deposit, fees, and absolutely everything that you need to know about this position in real time. So I'm not going to spend too much time on DeFi Orbit because we already have enough videos about it. But if you want to check it out and try it out, just go on DeFi Orbit.xyz and you'll be able to track absolutely everything in one place. We're on Ethereum and Solana. And yeah, guys, this is how you do it. And congratulations on opening your first pool. All right, let's bring it out together. Today we cover what Uniswap V3 is and why concentrated liquidity is a game changer. We broke down the 3 use cases, the 4 fee tiers, how price ranges work, and why impermanent loss is the risk you have to track. Then we open a live position and I show you how I monitor everything through DeFi Orbit. In the next few days, I'm going to release 2 shorts. One on how to find the best Uniswap V3 pools right now, and one on the most common LP mistakes that are killing people's return. So don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss those. And if you want to track your Uniswap V3 position in the way I just show you, check out DeFi Orbit. The link is in the description. Sign up now and get early access pricing. Lastly, drop a comment below with your biggest questions about providing liquidity. I read everyone and I will reply ASAP. See you in the next one.